Creating and managing projects in DCKAP Integrator. How to create a project in DCKAP Integrator. Creating your project is the first step in setting up your integrations, and it's a straightforward process. To begin, navigate to the DCKAP Integrator dashboard. Once you're there, follow these simple steps to create your project. The first step is to click on the Create Project button. Enter your project's name. This is the only mandatory field to create a new project. If you'd like to provide additional details for your project, click on More Options in the pop-up. Here, you can add more information about your project description, a brief description of your project, time zone. Choose your time zone. All date and time entries will be displayed in the selected time zone. Console logs. The console logs records all the lines of API transactions as a file to review in detail if any failure occurred. The files can also be downloaded for internal review. It is disabled by default, and you can enable it if needed. Console logs options. Choose log restriction options for API method and URL, API request information, API response information, API header information, and API params information. Activity logs are used to track when users create, update, or delete any entity within the project, along with their creation date and time. Activity logs are turned off by default, but you can enable them. You can easily turn on or off email notifications for synchronization failures. Get instant alerts if there's an issue during data synchronization. Provide one or more email addresses to which failure alert emails must be sent. Here, specify the email IDs of the project members you want to include. Project access enables project members to oversee and handle the project's associated documents. If necessary, you can also add project documents to your project. Once you've filled in the details, click on Create Project. You've successfully created your project. Now that you've got your project ready, you can also edit or update the project settings if necessary. Project settings are used to configure parameters for your project. Choose the project, then click on the three dots and opt for Project Settings from the drop-down menu. Let us begin with General Settings. Set your project's name and description. The project setting time zone allows you to display all the transaction logs based on the customer's local time. Activity logs are used to track when users create, update, or delete any entity within the project, along with their creation date and time. Activity logs are turned off by default, but you can enable them. The console logs records all the lines of API transactions as a file to review in detail if any failure occurs. The files can also be downloaded for internal review. It is disabled by default, and you can enable it if needed. You can enable or disable synchronization failure email alerts. These emails come to your rescue whenever something goes wrong during data synchronization. Got a team to keep in the loop? No worries. Just provide one or more email addresses in the email address section. Subscribe to DCKAP on YouTube and explore the DCKAP Learning playlist. Check the description below for more.